Now at 6, agreements and maybe some confusion over just who will pay for repairs to an HVAC system in the city of Chanute. Plus, a Coffeyville man says he'll represent himself in a first-degree murder trial. And the inventor of the Ring doorbell turns to the Show Me State to launch his next business.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The city of Chanute, Kansas is battling with the public library and the Safari Museum concerning facility repairs. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Dow Quick. KOAM's Fernanda Silva has the story.
Up here is our most recent damage from last summer from the HVAC system.
Director of the Chanute Public Library, Jenna Lawrence, is concerned about the building's current HVAC system. Not only it is damaging books.
Sometimes those pipes leak or those pans overflow, and they have repeatedly rained down on all of the books upstairs in our children's department.
But it also caused the library to close on hot summer days.
It was like 90 degrees just downstairs and then 100 and more upstairs, and that's not a workable situation.
Now she knows the system needs to be fixed. The library and the Safari Museum operate in a city-owned building, rent-free. Under the current agreement, the entities would be responsible for paying maintenance and utilities. But the groups say they can't afford the estimated $1 million cost to replace the malfunctioning HVAC system. The city then proposed a new agreement.
They're leasing from us and they'll pay a set amount each month and we'll fix everything, just like a normal rental of a house or a building or something like that from a landlord.
City Commissioner says that if the museum and the library sign the new agreement, the city would be responsible for fixing the HVAC. But this is not what the library and the museum directors and board members understood from the city meeting.
What was understood was that the library and museum would be responsible for all upkeep, which included the HVAC system. So if that's what the city commission thought, that is not what was communicated to the museum or the library.
If the library and the museum need to pay for the repair, they will need to come up with a plan of action.
We've talked about taking out loans from the bank and from several different banks, because this is going to be a huge project. And we've talked about using state historical tax credits to help pay with some of that.
In Chanute, Fernanda Silva, KOAM News.
Now, the library board agreed they will sign the lease, but the museum still hasn't decided. They're going to meet again on Thursday. The discussion is not on the agenda for the city's Monday meeting. Beautiful weather out there this evening. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy.
Yes, turned out to be fantastic this afternoon. Of course, we got the very heavy amounts of rain for a good chunk of you last night. Then the sun came out during the afternoon. We're setting upper 70s to near 80, low to mid 80s. Once you get out across parts of Kansas and Oklahoma, and check out this rain. You can see the pocket through northeastern Oklahoma, southwest Missouri, and then also another little pocket really from Pittsburgh. So a lot of areas near Pittsburgh picked up 3-4 inches of rain across the region. And of course, we have more rain in the forecast. So we're going to be looking at that here in just a bit.
See you soon. A Coffeyville man will face a jury trial for the May 2022 shooting death of another man. A court has set the trial of David Allen Jackson for next March. Jackson is charged with one count of premeditated first-degree murder in the fatal shooting of Melvin Simpson Jr. at Jackson's home in Coffeyville. Jackson, who has been in the Montgomery County Jail since the discovery of Simpson's death in May of 2022, plans to represent himself in that jury trial. A former Coffeyville minister is charged with the rape of a minor. William Keith Dodd, who is the former pastor of the Lewark Church of God, was formally charged with 2 counts of raping a youth on 2 occurrences between January 1st and September 11th of this year. If convicted of the charges, Dodd could face life in prison with no chance of parole. Dodd remains in the Montgomery County Jail with bonds set at $250,000. An Independence man was sentenced to 59 months in prison after being granted a second chance on a prior sex crime conviction. James William Robertson of Independence pleaded no contest to 2 charges: aggravated intimidation of a witness younger than age 18 and aggravated battery. Following his release from prison, Robertson will be required to have 5 years of supervision. The inventor of the Ring doorbell is working on a new creation, this time to help protect people living in apartment buildings. And he's going to start his new project from the ground up by opening a new headquarters in the St. Louis, Missouri region. Lauren Traeger has more.
So we're moving it from New York City to right here in beautiful St. Louis.
This 1960s warehouse in Olivet is getting a glow up thanks to an inventor who's always had his eyes on the future.
I always like fixing things up. Right? That's just I'm a tinkerer. I'm an inventor, so I love that kind of stuff.
Jamie Siminoff's the tinkerer behind a company that's now become a household name.
Hey man, don't do it.
He founded Ring, the smart doorbell, camera, and security company that has captured many a crook in the act. The company sold to Amazon for $1 billion. His latest venture, Latch, will soon be called Door.com.
We build locks for apartment buildings and then the software around it to run that better and give a better resident experience for the people living there.
And it will all soon be headquartered right here.
So this will be our corporate headquarters, warehouse, return merchandise, some quality assurance work, sales, finance. So we're going to really just put all of the physical plant stuff here in St. Louis.
The building's getting a complete refresh. Southern Comfort whiskey used to be made and bottled here. The building's housed other businesses too. Siminoff says he knew the St. Louis region would now be their new home.
I love St. Louis. I love Missouri. I ended up getting a farm north of here and flying through St. Louis and found this area.
Though St. Louis gets a bad rap sometimes, he says, he knows better.
Yeah, amazing people here, diverse workforce. And I think that, between cost of living and that, it's one of the best places in the U.S. to have a business.
Door.com is expected to open its new headquarters by the end of this year. Coming up, a nonprofit organization looks to bring hydroponic farming to some Southeast Kansas schools. Plus, the Children's Haven in Joplin celebrates their 20th anniversary with a ribbon cutting and a brand new sculpture. Community Green Farms is one of 5 nonprofits across Kansas that received more than $1 million grants for the Kansas Department for Children and Families, and they're building farm classrooms. The first farm classroom started at Pittsburgh High School in 2022, and it's been growing ever since. The amount of produce grown in the farm classrooms is enough to support backpack programs while taking up very little space.
We want to do this in every single county in the state of Kansas. And so next 10 counties, phase 2, we're just going to move north a little, and we're just going to start picking away at the state until we've done all 105 Kansas counties.
The grant is effective October 1st. The Children's Haven of Southwest Missouri today celebrated its 20th anniversary. In their 20 years of service, the Children's Haven has provided temporary shelter to more than 8,000 local kids. This milestone was commemorated with that ribbon cutting ceremony and also the unveiling of their brand new pinwheel sculpture. The pinwheel is the national symbol of child abuse and neglect prevention, but for the Children's Haven, it represents hope for the community.
To have the pinwheel in our front yard is really a beacon of hope and a legacy there for future generations of Southwest Missouri families who need crisis care services.
Today, the Children's Haven celebrates their continuing service to local families. And Meadowview Elementary in Parsons, Kansas had their own ribbon cutting ceremony. Today, the school unveiled its brand new outdoor classroom area. Ajit Pai, the former chairman of the Federal Communications Commission, attended the event as he's made generous contributions toward building the new area.
While students are learning things like 2 + 2 = 4, or this is how you diagram a sentence, they'll be able to do it in an environment that allows them to experience nature. And I think that combination of just having fresh air and learning new concepts is a really powerful one.
Work on the outdoor classroom finished in April. A little bit later, Webb City invites the public out to help paint the town Cardinals red.
Plus, if you didn't get rain last night, we have more thunderstorms in the forecast. We'll check that out coming up. Well, of course, we got showers. We got thunderstorms, heavy amounts of rain for us last night. Then we broke out and saw quite a bit of sunshine this afternoon. It's turned out to be a very nice evening. In fact, let's go to downtown Webb City. We got Paint the Town Red going on. And see if we can get, there we are. So this is a live shot. So this is, of course, Main Street. They do this parade every year, of course. It is homecoming week. How you doing, dude? And the homecoming game is Friday night. So what is so cool about this event? One, they have clear skies. Oh, look at the hug. And then two, after this at the Webb City Middle School, they do a big bonfire. So it's a big school event. Of course, it's homecoming season right now. But let's go back to that rain, because we did get some rain since midnight. Almost an inch of rain, 2.16 inches for the month. We still have that huge deficit. Look at this. Okay, 23 and 34. That's the difference from this time last year and then also right now. So we need any more rain we can get. We got more on the way. Temperature is pretty good, upper 70s, lower 80s out there right now if you want to get outside. Here's a nice shot, 7th and range line, 81. South winds at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Through the evening, we slide back through the 70s, well, dropping through the 80s, 70s, down into the mid 60s. Later on tonight, we have a few clouds out there, but in general, it looks pretty good. The rain we had earlier today, this is gone. We do have a couple showers trying to flare up down to our south. This may kind of develop into a few random late night showers for us, but what I'm really tracking is this wave, which will affect us late tomorrow, this wave, which will affect us as we head into the weekend. All right, let's go through time. We're going to stop this at about 5:30 in the morning. A few isolated little thunderstorms. Most of us will stay dry. These will kind of lift through during the morning, so you may wake up to a few random showers, but most of tomorrow is going to be dry. Mid 70s by noon. We heat up into lower 80s during the afternoon, but look at the corner of the screen. So here's 5 p.m. Thunderstorms starting to roll in. Here's 7:30 p.m. I don't think these are going to be severe, but some of these could be strong. Periods of showers, thunderstorms, tomorrow evening into tomorrow night. We're just going to have rounds of thunderstorms. Very loud night, very similar to what we had last night. We'll start the day on Friday with thunderstorms like today, and then they will start to shift out of here. And then by Friday evening for high school football, we are looking pretty good. We clear out. But then we got another round that we got to keep our eyes on as we go into the weekend. So rainfall amounts over the next 36 hours. Of course, this is a weather model projection, so you can't take it and say, hey, Joplin's going to get 1.14 inches. But I think on average, a lot of us will get a half an inch to an inch and some isolated 2-inch amounts with our next batch of rain. Day planning for you Thursday, 67 to start, 78 by noon, 83 by 4. High temp right around 85 degrees. And then over the weekend, I'm going to call this Hotspot Saturday, because we do have a severe threat. Greater threat's going to be up toward Kansas City into parts of Iowa, but we are going to have a severe threat. This is not during the day Saturday. This is mainly late evening into the overnight hours Saturday night, so we need to watch that. 85 tomorrow, 81 on Friday, 87 Saturday, 80 on Sunday. Plenty of rain chances. We start the day Sunday with thunderstorms. We clear out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Temperatures through the period into the 80s, looking pretty good.
Yeah, loving the temps, loving the chance for rain even more. We need it.
Yes, we do.
Thanks, Doug. Still ahead, Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes preview the Chiefs matchup with Chicago this weekend. And a former Webb City and Missouri Southern baseball player gets promoted to AAA. John Dales has those stories and more coming up next.
The fall sports season continues to roll along in the 4 states. That includes college soccer. And tonight, it's going to be a busy one at Red Robertson Field in Miami. NEO has a doubleheader with its men's and women's soccer teams this evening at home. Both teams' opponent is Murray State College. The Lady Norse head into this evening with a 1-6-1 record. However, they just picked up their first win of the year last time out. This Sunday, NEO gets the road victory at Connors State. Trying to start up a winning streak. That game happening as we speak. We'll have highlights from it tonight at 10. We'll also bring you highlights from the men's game between the Golden Norsemen and Aggies. That contest starting up at 7 o'clock this evening. The NEO men's squad in a similar position. They lost their first 5 games before beating Rose State, then tying Connors State the last 2 times out. Meanwhile, Logan Van Way, a graduate of Webb City High School and Missouri Southern, continues to make noise in minor league baseball. He gets called up to AAA within the Astros organization today. Van Way went undrafted out of Missouri Southern in 2022. He hit his innings limit last season with a 3.26 ERA and 62 strikeouts in high A and double A. And he's Missouri Southern's all-time leader in strikeouts per 9 innings, now just one step away from the majors. Meanwhile, the Chiefs look ahead to a matchup with the Bears this weekend, and it has been a hectic day in Chicago, from their defensive coordinator abruptly resigning to quarterback Justin Fields making comments that he needs to play more free. But Kansas City knows Fields is a dangerous playmaker regardless of any early season struggles.
He's a good football player, and he can do so many things. I don't know. I mean, I'm not there. I've never. Yeah. They'll work it out. I mean, that's what they're doing right now. So, I don't know exactly what he said, but if he's saying that, then he's working through it. It's important that we kind of get ourselves right to play a guy that can do so many different things.
Yeah, just trust your talent, trust your instincts. He's here for a reason. He's made a lot of big plays happen in the NFL and in college, wherever he's been. So just trust in your instincts, and then go out there and be the player that you've always been, just not against us, hopefully.
In pro baseball, Royals trying to end a forgettable season on a high note. Yesterday, they beat the Guardians to lock up a third consecutive series victory. That meant this afternoon, Kansas City with the opportunity to go for the series sweep. And the Royals get their series sweep, 6-2 home win this afternoon. Nelson Velasquez continues his hot streak at the plate, batting .280 with 6 home runs in the month of September. Entering today, well, he added another to that total with a 3-run bomb in the first. Angel Serpa gets the win, throwing 5 1/3 scoreless innings of relief. Cardinals in action this evening against the NL Central Division leading Brewers. Third game of a 4-game set. These two teams will see each other again in Milwaukee less than a week from now. Brewers trying to distance themselves from everybody else in the Central. Entering tonight, they've got a 6-game lead on the Cubs, who are in second place. That's all for sports. We're back after this.
Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14 tonight. We're going to have more on that $1 million grant being used to help Southeast Kansas schools grow their own fresh produce. Plus, in recognition of Child Passenger Safety Week, we're going to have 5 tips for keeping your kids safe in vehicles. And doctors in Mexico say they've examined alleged alien remains. We're going to learn what they found. Those stories, a lot more, of course, is coming up tonight on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. In the meantime, beautiful evening to get outside. Maybe enjoy that bonfire this evening.
Yeah.
Town Red in Webb City.
Absolutely. And we got quite a bit of rain last night. And there are some areas that did not get rain, especially in northern and western counties. But we have plenty of chances in the forecast. Tomorrow evening, tomorrow night, and then again Saturday evening, Saturday night. Temperatures through the period looking pretty good, and hey, we're in a drought, so we need the rain.
You bet, the more the better. We're going to leave you tonight with another look at the Paint the Town Red parade in Webb City. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you right back here at 10. Let's make it a great evening.